tobacco tycoon R.J. Reynolds acquired Nabisco Foods in 1985. Philip Morris, the father of modern tobacco, acquired General Foods and Kraft Foods 3 years later, making them the leading food producers in North America. Later, he entrusted the food industry to the skillful hands of the same businesses that contributed to our addiction to tobacco. They utilised the same technique to advertise tobacco. Food corporations started marketing a diet of processed foods disguised as food, but filled with chemicals and additives to the entire earth. This device functions with a specific target, such as addicting customers. Beyond the negative consequences on health, an unhealthy diet and tobacco are comparable. Executives at some of the country's most extensive food and beverage firms have taken a lot of corporate responsibility lessons from their colleagues at Big Tobacco, actively encouraging the use of unhealthy foods while simultaneously blaming the consumer. Big Tobacco and Big Food have some ancestors in common. Some of these companies were only separate entities for a short time. For instance, RJR Nabisco previously housed both the producers of Chips Ahoy biscuits and Camel cigarettes. Before the middle of the 2000s, the firms that made the Marlboro and Virginia Slim cigarettes were part of the same conglomerate, Philip Morris, now Altria, which also produced Kraft macaroni and cheese and Kool-Aid. Since then, these corporations have separated their food and cigarette operations, but aggressive product promotion may still be ingrained in their DNA. While food is necessary for survival, many processed meals and restaurant menu items, many of which are marketed to children, are not necessities. One food item that causes significantly more harm than good is soda and other sugary drinks. The single largest source of calories in the American diet is sugary drinks, which are also the leading causes of diabetes, heart disease, obesity, and other health issues. Like Big Tobacco, Big Food goes to considerable lengths to conceal the links between soda and disease. In a 1954 commercial, the Tobacco Industry Research Committee stated, "The products we make are not harmful to health." In 2012, the American Beverage Association opined sugar-sweetened beverages are not driving obesity. Coca-Cola executive Katie Bain told this whopper to USA Today, "There is no scientific evidence that connects sugary beverages to obesity." Food and cigarette corporations utilize the same terminology to hold their customers accountable for the harm their goods create and reject any links between their products and sickness. What people want to do is their own decision, said American Tobacco CEO Robert Heyman in 1988. More recently, Don Thompson, the CEO of McDonald's, said, "All of us have to make personal choices." Although those statements may be literally accurate, they miss how businesses influence, seduce, and manipulate consumers, including children, into making the decisions that consumers are supposedly responsible for. Food and tobacco corporations have a history of notoriously marketing to youngsters. Yet, both like lecturing parents, it is a responsibility of every parent to encourage their children to make proper choices about lifestyle decisions, is how R.J. Reynolds Tobacco Company put it in the mid-1990s. It continued by saying that it's not the responsibility of the federal government to prevent children from smoking. In 2011, McDonald's CEO Jim Skinner said, "It's up to kids to choose and their parents to choose, and it's their responsibility to do so." Joe Camel, a cartoon character designed to lure kids to smoke, was withdrawn in 1997 due to pressure from state attorneys general. The tobacco industry's aggressive lobbying group, the Cigarette Institute, was dismantled as part of a comprehensive settlement deal between the AGs and the tobacco industry. However, trade associations for the food business continue to spend millions to obstruct change and uphold the status quo. The food industry still utilizes cartoon characters to advertise disease-causing items to youngsters. Although Big Tobacco and Big Food are now distinct enterprises, the game plan is much the same. It's up to us how the game progresses. To avoid a thorough pre-market regulatory safety study, food firms frequently rely on a small group of scientists to determine if new food additives may be labelled generally recognised as safe. Consumers frequently consume foods with hidden flavours, preservatives and other additives that businesses add without regulatory oversight. Several scientists who regularly assess the safety of food ingredients performed comparable work for Big Tobacco. Over the past 17 years, 379 expert panels have been assembled to examine the safety of food components. 10 experts have been paid to serve on 3/4 of those panels. According to critics, scientists who rely on the food industry for their livelihood may be less likely to question the safety of products that businesses expect to promote. The World Health Organization cut all ties to the tobacco business in 1999. According to Fool Me Twice, a review of tobacco company documents pointed to a systematic global effort by the tobacco industry to neutralize the WHO and national governments. During the administration of President Bill Clinton, the US Department of Justice also initiated legal action against big tobacco businesses that year. 6 years later, 6 organizations joined the case. However, defendants had peddled their deadly goods with enthusiasm, deceit, and a single-minded emphasis on their financial success. Although there are apparent differences between food and tobacco, and substantial differences between the food business and cigarette corporations, there are also many similarities in the responses that these two industries have made to the fear that their products may be harmful. The world cannot afford a tobacco-like situation where the industry claims to be on the moral high ground, but does not actually occupy it, as obesity has become a massive worldwide issue. Make sure to let us know your thoughts down below. Subscribe to the channel as a sacrifice to the gods of the algorithm. Thanks for watching.